If at the end of this calendar year, Joe Biden announces that he's not going to seek a second term, based on all your reporting, how much of a surprise will that be to you?
I would say it would be a surprise to me, but it wouldn't be a total surprise.
Wouldn't be a total shock.
It wouldn't be a total shock.
That was Franklin Lohr, the author of Biden's latest biography titled The Last Politician. And it's telling that he states that it wouldn't be surprising or all that surprising if President Biden decided to drop out of his bid for re-election. Now, rumors have been swirling that President Biden will eventually drop out of the presidential race following, a lot of polling, but lately, one of the worst polls for Biden coming from the Wall Street Journal showing that the vast majority of Americans, including 2/3 of Democrats, feel that he is too old to run for re-election. So I want to give you some of the results of that polling. It shows that 73% of those surveyed and 2/3 of Democrats told pollsters that the 80-year-old Biden would not be up for another 4 years in office. The poll also indicates that a rematch of the 2020 presidential election between Biden and former President Donald Trump would begin in a dead heat. The two are actually tied at 46% in a hypothetical general election poll, something that Cenk and I have been concerned about and have been talking about on the show. And if you take a look at the averages of the polling, the Real Clear Politics average of polls testing another Trump-Biden race shows Biden with a 0.7% lead over Trump. Too close for comfort, and poll respondents say that they just don't feel the same way about Donald Trump's age. So remember, Donald Trump isn't some whippersnapper. He's 77 years old, but just under 50% of voters expressed a similar concern over the 77-year-old Trump. And there are other concerning elements of this poll. For instance, compared to Biden, more of the poll respondents felt that Trump is more mentally up to the job, that he has a better vision for the future, cares about people like them, and has an impressive record as president. I'll give you the numbers on that in just a moment. But Cenk, Biden, not our best.
Yeah, we're not winning with this guy, maybe literally, unfortunately. So look, guys, poll out today as well. 51% of Americans think that Donald Trump should be disqualified from running for office again based on what he did on January 6th. That is a majority of the country. And Biden is tied with him. Biden is tied with a guy that a majority of the country thinks is so abhorrent that he shouldn't even be allowed to run for office. And yet Democrats in Washington are like, we nailed this thing. No one running against Biden, no one running against Biden. He's got to say he's the only one that can beat Trump.
No, I disagree.
It's insanity.
I don't think that's what's going on with the Democratic Party. I think the Democratic Party, as we speak, is scheming to have their preferred candidate ready to go for when Biden announces that he's going to drop out of the race. I think that is what's currently taking place. I think the Democratic establishment, they love to play kingmaker, and I think they're getting Newsom ready for this.
So Anna, that's a great point. Let me break down how I think this has proceeded so far. So when the leader in the Democratic Party, the Democratic voters are a lot less authoritarian, but Democratic Party leadership these days is more authoritarian than Republican leadership. And when they say bow your heads, everybody bows their heads. So Biden said, I'm running. And everybody instantly bowed their heads. Bernie and AOC came out, they're like, okay, we endorse it right away. No progressive should run, no progressive should run, okay? And so they all bowed their heads, and Biden's like, okay, very good. And I think he genuinely meant it. Obama went and talked to him and couldn't even talk him out of it, as he has in the past, etc. But now he's fallen apart at the seams, and we could all see it. And even as thick as that bubble in Washington is, they now see it, okay? And they're like, oh boy. So now, they've seen that for at least a month. How do I know that? You know when Gavin Newsom re-hit the TV circuit? And you know when they randomly did this glowing profile of Gretchen Whitmer, okay? Mainstream media is in a lot of ways Democratic Party leadership, okay? Those publishers and editors, I mean, they have the same exact groupthink as Democratic Party leaders, okay? So and by the way, a lot of times, including the person who wrote that article about Gretchen Whitmer, they're former Democratic Party strategists, okay? So they are getting those two ready in the bullpen, and progressive knuckleheads in DC, and I'm being as polite as humanly possible. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do exactly what Anna said. And you say, Biden's out, now it has to be Whitmer and Newsom. That's it, it's over, it's over, it's over. Why? Because they don't want you guys to run. And you schmucks are like, okay. You're getting catfished into it. So now, in the last month, it has gone from Biden insisting that he's gonna run to, no, let's shift over and make sure that the voters have no choice, and then we'll get all of corporate media to scream at the voters that it has to be Newsom or Whitmer, or both, running as a team. And either way, progressives can't run against Biden, and then they'll turn around right away and go, you can't run against Whitmer or Newsom, okay? And
I just know
Bernie, AOC, and the Justice Democrats are like, okay, it's Biden, sure, none of us will run. Yeah, congrats, you got played again.
Look, I don't even know which progressive lawmaker should run. Right?
I don't either, but I do know them unilaterally surrendering 2,000 times over, including this time, has not been a brilliant political strategy. We sent you to fight the establishment, and you thought that was to lay down on their doormat, okay? So you guys endorsing Biden, especially if he pulls out, well, let's just say it's not gonna look like a bright move, okay? So you told all progressives to stand down while Newsom and Whitmer are getting ready. And you can't see that they're getting ready? All right, guys, look, can we say it now? Well before Biden has stepped down, okay? No, right now as things stand, no one knows if Biden's gonna step down or not. Conjecture has just begun, okay? So Bernie and AOC and all other progressives who back Biden, if he steps down and then they pull a fast one on you and they put in Gavin Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer and tell you now you can't run again, it's too late. We gotta go with these guys because it's too late. Will you then admit you got played?
No, of course they won't. No, that's not gonna happen.
But you got played, right? Because if Biden steps down, you 100% indisputably got played. Okay, go ahead, keep endorsing them.
So for now, Biden swears up and down that he's not gonna drop out. In fact, we have a quick video of him over the weekend. Let's take a look.
I tell you what, someone said, that Biden, he's getting old, man. I tell you what. Well, guess what? The only thing that comes with age is a little bit of wisdom. I've been doing this longer than anybody, and guess what? I'm going to continue to do it with your help.
The re-election strategy is starting to come into focus as well. President Biden wants to talk about Trump without naming Trump.
Guess what? The great real estate builder, the last guy here, he didn't build a damn thing. Under my predecessor, Infrastructure Week became a punchline. On my watch, infrastructure has been a decade and it's a headline.
Look, whether he names Trump or doesn't name Trump doesn't matter. The attacks against Trump clearly aren't working. I just want to quickly go back to that Wall Street Journal poll. This was, in my opinion, the more fascinating element of the poll and the respondents. So by an 11-point margin, more voters see Trump rather than Biden as having a record of accomplishments as president. Some 40% said Biden has such a record, while 51% said so of Trump. By an 8-point margin, more voters said Trump had a vision for the future. By 10 points, more described Trump as mentally up to the presidency. Some 46% said that is true of Trump, compared with 36% who said so of Biden. Not good. Just all around bad news for Biden, which is what's really adding to my feel that he's likely gonna drop out of the race. One other thing that I'll mention, because I think it's relevant in terms of what is driving, at least for me, my prediction about all of this. Why is Newsom, he had that lengthy sit down interview with Sean Hannity. He's getting ready for a potential debate with Ron DeSantis. Why would he debate Ron DeSantis? Yeah. Right? Unless he's planning on running for president.
Yeah, so the only question for Gavin Newsom is whether he's gonna run for president in 24 or 28. But it is awfully early for 28. So no, he's warming up in the bullpen. There's no question about that. You'd have to be brain dead not to realize that, or a progressive in Washington thinking, oh my God, they're gonna help us any second now. All right, important last things here. So in terms of, are the American people right about their different mental states? Yeah, kinda. I mean, Biden's falling apart at the seams. I read a headline about how Biden did that wisdom line about, oh my God, you know what you get with more age is wisdom. And it made it sound so positive. Then I watched the tape and I'm like, he could barely get the line out. It was a disaster, right? I mean, that's what you're complimenting him for? And then why aren't you naming Trump? Why is that some sort of like sin or something? You're running against him, why wouldn't you name him? This is pathetic, it's pathetic all around. And yes, Trump is almost the same age as Biden, but they don't look it. Keep it real. I loathe Donald Trump, but he looks healthy, and Biden doesn't. Okay, you keep telling the American people not to believe their lying eyes, and it isn't working. And then on the vision for a future, it's insane that so many more people think that Trump has a good plan for the future. He has no plan for the future other than enriching himself. But why do they think that? You've got to challenge yourself when you see a poll like that. Why? And the reason is because Trump is saying something different than the establishment. And Biden is saying status quo is great. You're getting rid of him and then you get status quo. Well, people don't want to hear the status quo. They'll hear anything else and go, that's a better vision for the future than staying as we are now. But they never get that memo in DC because they're paid not to get that memo. Last thing I'll ask you guys is, should we try to push him out? Like, if we do, like.
I can't support Newsom.
No,
I'm keeping it 100. I can't. I just can't. I can't. As a Californian
but that's a personal
who
thing.
has experienced Newsom, I can't. I'd rather have Biden. Keeping it real.
Okay, I hear you, but that's a personal thing. Okay, but should Biden be pushed out in general? In general, we don't have a petition yet. Should we do a petition? I don't have a poll on it, but we'll read the comments to the best of our abilities. Like the media will. And everyone in Washington will despise us if we do a super aggressive push to get this old man out of here. Sorry. Oh my God, I said old. Everyone knows he's old. Everyone. Get him out. That's my opinion. We'll read through the comments and we'll make a decision.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.